Hi everyone, my name is Tammy, and I'm doing a video response to Beautiful Brown Baby Doll's Unsupportive People video. And I just want to say to her a personal thank you for making that video, because right now it couldn't be more applicable to my life. Like, I'm living in Hungary right now, and in a very small town, and I'm like, I have no one who supports me here. And it's funny that I ran across her video because I just made a video similar to hers, talking about the conception of hate and how, you know, when you have so many people around you who don't support you, and when you constantly bombarded by negativity, it really starts to wear you down. And so that leads me to the first part of Beautiful Brown Baby Doll's video. I wrote everything down, like, in my journal here. I'm such a cornball, I know. But this is my journal that I have here. See, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live your life. Live the life you've imagined, by Thoreau. And that's how I live my life. And so many people don't understand that about me. They always ask me questions like, why did you move to Hungary? Why did you cut your hair? Why do you do so many of the things that you do? And it's just like, because, like, you know, I'm telling you, like, YouTube is so amazing because I've met so many what I call soul sisters and soul brothers on YouTube. Like, there's another girl, Nora Faye Vega. If you get a chance to look at her videos, like, you really should. And Beautiful Brown Baby Doll is another one. I don't know if she's going to see this, but, like, I consider them my soul sister. Like, I never met them, but just like their spirit and what they're saying really comes through, like, on the video. But anyway, so the first thing that she said in her video that she talked about was boundaries. I wrote everything down. That's why I'm looking down. She talked about boundaries. And one of the things that struck home for me is asking for advice. Now, the way I live my life is I live my life very openly. Like, I have no problem answering people's questions. When people say things to me, I mean, it's whatever. The problem I have with people, and as far as boundaries is concerned, is that people assume things about me. Okay, asking me questions is fine. Like, I have no problem with you asking, because, and if you ask in the right way, like, and out of general, authentic interest, and not just because you want to poke fun or you want to have something to laugh at or something like that, which is what I get a lot. People ask me questions and then they go, yeah, like, and then they make, you know, a joke about it, like, kind of like a hurtful kind of joke. But anyway, so that part of it, I can understand why I get a lot of negativity thrown my way. It's because I live my life so openly. Like, it doesn't matter to me that people know stuff about me. It matters when they take that information and they form stereotypes about it, or they make further assumptions about it instead of just continuing to ask me questions. But that's just a personal choice I have. Hold on a second. That's just a personal choice of mine to live my life openly the way I do. But as far as, like, when she was talking about dating and not, like, telling people who her current boyfriend was or whatever, that part I do agree with, because for me, and I've put that in my other video as well, is that I like to date outside of my race, and I get a lot of heat from black people, and which, oh God, I don't like saying black people. I get a lot of flack from everyone. I'll just say it like that. I mean, darker skinned people, fairer skinned people, medium, whatever you want to call them. Like, I get a lot of flack because people are telling me, like, well, you're a traitor to your race and you don't love yourself because you date outside of your race. And I'm like, you know, not for nothing, people don't know me, but if I didn't love myself, I'd just go ahead and kill myself. Like, and people can say whatever they want about that statement, but that's how I feel. I mean, I love myself. I love that I have African ancestry and so many other different kind of ancestry that I don't think I should deny any of it. I'm not just my ancestors are not just from Africa. So I'm not going to sit up here and so you can feel better and so that you can feel comfortable about being whatever color you are or about being whatever race you are. I'm going to fit your stereotype, or I'm going to fit your molds, or I'm going to fit what you think I am. And because you say I'm from Africa, I have to be from Africa. And because you say my skin color is black, then if I say that I'm brown, then I'm a traitor to my race. Like, what kind of, that doesn't even make any sense. I'm going to be who I am. I am who God made me. God made me this way, okay? And I'm very proud of it. I love myself. I love who I am. I love that I'm very different and that, you know, I don't fit the mold and that I don't fit the stereotype. I love that about myself. It's the other people that don't love it, so it's whatever. Then she talked about in her video tuning people out. That's where I have a problem. Because I live my life so open, I'm like a sponge. I absorb everything. And as I get older and as I meet other people and hear their opinions, like Beautiful Brown Baby and like other people I've ran into, they teach me and show me that tuning people out, you have to do it. Like, and that's just something I'm going to have to work on. I don't really know how to tune people out. The best way that I've learned to do it, like now living here, I keep my headphones in. And that's like very literal tuning people out. I just put my headphones in and people be talking and I see their mouth moving, I see their lips moving, but I keep walking because my thing is this: they could not be saying something negative, but chances are that they probably are, or they're saying something like an undercover insult, and I don't have time for that. Like, so, and it's funny, like when Beautiful Brown Baby was talking about tuning people out, I wrote down like everything she said, like in my journal right now. Everything is in quotation. Mean it to hurt you. Spit insecurities. Anger not directed towards you. You breathing will piss people off. Not satisfy everyone. When someone else is happy, it should not make you unhappy. Like, everything that she said right there applies to me right now. And it's so funny because I was like laughing, but I was shaking my head at the same time because I was like, you know what? It's crazy that this stuff, and then like she said, I have to check myself. I have to check myself and make sure I'm not guilty of doing these things too. I mean, because what happens is, and I've noticed that being here, I'm surrounded by so much negativity that I'm starting to become negative. And I mean, I'm leaving, but you know, 'cause I have to stay here till my contract is over, unfortunately, because if I could leave today, like, I'd do it. But I don't believe in breaking contracts. That's just a personal thing for me. I believe you say you're going to do something, then do it. But anyway, so like, for example, I'm going to tell you this one thing that happened to me. And I'm not going to say her name, but you know, she knows who she is. There was this one person, okay, here, and they were having their little celebration, their festival or whatever. It's like, best way I can explain it to people who are not Hungarian is it's a mixture of Halloween and Mardi Gras. And so the particular theme was disco. This was last year. I've been here 3 years. The particular theme was disco. So I had on like some pink go-go boots. I had on like a disco dress with some shorts and some tights underneath. And I bought this big afro off of a website. And I was so excited because the kids asked me to come, and I told them I would come and support them and stuff like that. And so I was so excited, and I saw this person who at that time I considered her a friend of mine. I had been over her house, you know, I know her children, like she knows my daughter, like to me, like I considered her a friend. And she was like, well, I don't want to touch your hair. And I was like, why? And she was like, well, I don't like to touch that kind of texture hair. To me, that was insulting. And I happen to have another person who I still talk to today. And I turned around and looked at her and I was like, is it just me? Like, am I blowing this thing out of proportion or what? And she was looking at me like shaking her head, and I just walked off. And then later on, I told her about it because it was really bothering me. And I was like, you know, that hurt my feelings. Like, you're supposed to be my friend and you saying that. Like, you know, I get a lot of negativity from these people. They're very racist. I'm the first Black American female here. So, like, you know, I'm getting a lot of negativity. Like, why would you say something like that to me? And she was like, well, me not wanting to touch your hair is like, because she knows I don't like kiwi. So she's like, me not wanting to touch your hair is like you not wanting to touch kiwi. Okay. After that, like, I totally, like, kicked her off the friend list. And I just looked at her a whole nother way. Even if I tried to, like, talk to her. And, like, even now, sometimes I see her, I try to smile, but I just can't. Because it was very hurtful to me. You know what I'm saying? And this was before I had my hair like this. Like, I'm attempting, what do they call it? Frohawk or something like that. Yeah, I'm going to try. If it doesn't work, I'll just cut it off again. Because I like being, like, bald-headed. But anyway, yeah, so, and then as far as like when someone else is unhappy, it should not make you unhappy. That I come across a lot here. And like, I noticed that when I'm happy, they call me silly or stupid. Like, I can't just be happy because they're very miserable people here. Like, lots of them. I'm not going to say all because I don't know all of them, but I will say lots of them. They're very miserable people. And I notice when I'm angry and when I'm walking down the street and I'm not speaking to anyone and stuff like that, they tend to leave me alone more. They still say their little stuff, but I notice they leave me alone more. But when I'm like laughing with my daughter, I'm walking down the street, or they see me, or I'm giving out presents to the kids, they get at me like, well, we don't do that. And why are you doing that? And what else are you doing? And what kind of money? How do you get your money? And I'm like, what does that matter? Why is my money your business? Why is what I'm doing your business? Nothing that I do is your business, because they made it perfectly clear here that they're not friends of mine. So why is what I'm doing your business? It's my money, my business. It matters to me and to the kids. That's it. I'm not doing anything for anybody else. I don't do anything for them anymore. Like, I couldn't care less. But it's like, for me, it's really sad because I came here for a specific reason, and I came here like and that was my mistake. I really did think I was going to be treated like really good here. I really, really did. It's a small town, and I just thought, oh, well, they have to know about black people because, like, I did my research on them. I knew I was coming here. I did my research on them. Well, obviously not enough. And I'll say 90% of my friends told me not to come here. And I love my friends to death. They're family to me. But I was like, guys, don't be like that, because, you know, you don't want people to judge you and stereotype you and stuff like that. But it is true. You know what I mean? And something else I want to say, because I'm noticing the time, is that I've noticed that I've gotten a lot of hate from Europeans and whites. I don't like that word. I've gotten it from certain people that are not, you know, of African ancestry or whatever. And I've noticed too that I've been getting more and more, especially when they find out that I date outside my race. I don't get any support, like, from lots of black people. Some black people are like, oh yeah, you down with the swirl, that's cool. And that bothers me a lot. And you want to know why? It's like, I want to end that on that note, because I get so much hate from, you know, lighter skinned individuals and fairer skinned individuals and Europeans and stuff like that, that I want to feel like I can at least go back home to my people and know that they're going to support me no matter what. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's like, I can't even get support from a lot of them. I mean, I'm not saying it's all black people, because it's not. I get support from some black people, but I feel like, why should I have to get hate from my own people? I expect them to love me no matter what, because that's how I roll with my friends. When I'm dealing with my friends, no matter what, I'm there for them. I love them. I support them, and they support me. The problem is that, you know, across the sea, across the pond, I can't get to them right now. But, like, that's how my friends are. And I just feel like if you're really someone's friend, then you should support them. Do you know what I mean? But that's my piece. I see the time is running down. So hopefully you guys leave comments and responses, because I would really love to hear your feedback. And thank you, Beautiful Brown Baby Doll, for making that video. I really, 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 really appreciate you for that. Thank you very much. Bye.